There was another case law. It's Salomon versus Salomon and Company Limited. This case study basically established the principle of separate legal entity. What are the facts of this case? For some years, Salomon carried a business. He was a leather merchant and a boot manufacturer. He was a leather merchant and he was a boot manufacturer, and for this purpose he formed a company, and he named the company as Salomon Limited Company. In this company there were some members. This company consisted of Salomon, his wife, his daughter, and his 4 sons. Totally there were 4, 5, 6, 7 members. All these 7 members subscribed to one share at £1 each. They subscribed one share for £1 each. In this company, Salomon was the managing director, and other 2 sons were other directors. These 3 of them look after the company. One day what happened means the company was not running properly. So what Salomon did, he sold the company and he received the following payments. He received 10,000 secured debt at £1 each, 10,000 pounds, and 20,000 fully paid shares at same £1 each for 20,000, and he received a cash of 8,782. Total he was left with 38,782. What were the assets? Total assets in the company showed as only 6,050 pounds. There were also unsecured creditors for 8,000 pounds. Of course, when you are winding up the company, these creditors will ask you the amount to return them back. But you were only left with 6,050 pounds of asset. So, due to lack of assets and more creditors, they were unable to settle the whole amount. What they did, the case was given to the court. The unsecured claim the whole of the company's asset. They took all these assets on the ground that the company was mere agent for Salomon, and thus they are entitled to the payment. This means Salomon is an agent, and they claim that Salomon Limited and Salomon are same. So before making payment to these debtors, debentures, whatever it may be, you should make payments to the unsecured creditors. Is it possible? No. When you have debtors when you have debentures, you should first make the payment to the debentures. That is the rule. After that, you will go with secured creditors, and then you will go with unsecured creditors. So what might have happened? The court rejected these confessions and held that a company on registration has its own legal entity. It has its existence. It has separate and distinct. It is separate and distinct from its members. A shareholder cannot be equated with a company. even if he is holding if he holds virtually the total share capital of the company, he cannot be considered as same as the company. Both are considered to be different. So what happened? They were not given the full amount of 6,050, and first preference were given to the debt debentures, and then whatever left it is given to the unsecured creditors. In this case, nothing is given to the creditors. There is also another case study. It's Lee versus Lee's air farming. Let us take an example. There was a farmer, Lee. What he does farming. As he is a farmer, he does farming. What he used? He used air farming. He used air farm as his crop as a pilot. He started a company and established himself as the employee. He started a company and established himself as employee. He did not invested in the company. He just established the company. He gathered the shareholders. He appointed the directors. The shareholders appointed the directors, and he stood as an employee to the company. And what he did? He started working as an employee and draw his salary. Of course, employee will receive the salary, and he used to withdraw his salary. One day, while he was air farming, an incident happened and he died. Something happened during the air farming. Something happened, and Lee died in that incident. His wife became widow. And he came. His wife came and asked for compensation. She asked for compensation as Lee was her husband and he was expired while doing the work for this company. Lee's air farming company. He was working for this company. Even though he established the company, he was working for this company as an employee, and he expired only because of working for this company. So she came to the company and she asked for the compensation. The company refused. Refused to give the compensation. And the same goes to the court, and the hearing was in favor to Lee's wife, and she got the compensation on the basis of what? On the basis of separate legal entity concept. Now let's go with the second characteristics of the company. It's artificial person. A company is invisible, intangible. It is existing only in the eyes of law. Have you ever seen a company? No, right? We cannot see a company. It is only mentioned in papers and documents. You cannot touch a company. No. Touch? No. You cannot touch a company. You cannot see a company. Yeah, but you can touch the building of the company. It doesn't have any physical body. It doesn't have any soul. It is not a fictitious person, but it's a real person. If you think it's a real person, it is invisible, intangible, no physical body, doesn't mean that it is fake. It doesn't have anything, but it does not mean that it is fake. It is a real person. Real means not like humans. It means it's not fake. It's just a legal personality. It has a legal personality. You cannot see. It is only in the papers and documents. You cannot touch. You can touch the building. Just like humans have some rights, company also have some rights. Just like humans, company is also having rights. Company is having some powers as a person has. What are those rights and powers? Powers and rights, you can go with company can acquire and at the same time it can dispose the property. It can acquire and at the same time it can dispose the property. It can also enter into contracts. It can directly enter. They have agents. Agents nothing but directors. It can be sue. It can sue and can be sued. They can file the case. If you want, you can also file the case on a company. Okay? But what a company cannot do, but a company cannot. What a company cannot do. It cannot take a oath on its own. It cannot take a oath or nor be sent to jail. Can you take the company to the jail? Is it possible? No. Nor can it marry? No. Or divorce. It cannot marry, it cannot take divorce. That's why it is not a natural person, it is an artificial person. It is not even a fictitious person. It is artificial person, not a natural person. The third one is perpetual succession. Perpetual succession. What do you mean by perpetual succession? Perpetual succession. Nothing but like company is a legal entity. You know that. It is having a perpetual succession. It never dies. Company never dies. Can you kill the company? It cannot die. It is created by law. And it can be dissolved by law itself. It is created by law and law only has the power to dissolve the company. Members may come and members may go out, but the company remains forever. Shareholders can be increased or decreased. Company remains forever. The company's existence is not affected by the retirement of its person, death of its person, or insolvency of the persons. Like, not affected. The existence is not affected by what things? Retirement of its members, death of its members, insolvency of its members. Suppose the members are insolvent. Do you think company will dissolve? No. Company should become insolvent. Insolvent means nothing but we are unable to make our pay our debts. Suppose a company have creditors of $10,000, $10,000, and it is having only assets of $5,000. They can only make the payment of up to 5,000. Remaining 5,000, they become insolvent. In this case, the company has to dissolve.